So an old one from the Creation Club content for Skyrim, but obviously if you're picking up the anniversary edition, this will be fresh still for you. We're going to get a COWL. That will give you some pretty OP thief skills, extra sneak, as well as the ability to sense other creatures. So it's definitely worth it, and I think it's a nice little quest. Also face off in a dungeon, part of the vanilla game, to get another power shout as well that disarms weapons. But first, go and find a thief, kill him or find his body in Riften's graveyard. Then you need to go to a beggar and give him the magic words, Shadow Hide You. This will give you the next part of the quest. A stranger's note will direct you to a house just as you come into Riften, Body's house, and if you've got high speech or persuasion, you'll be able to actually convince the NPC so that you have access to a locked box. Otherwise, you can go ahead and just sneak down there and hopefully steal it. The whole idea of this mission is to kind of pay homage and you be a little thief, but if you've got plenty of gold as well, and like I said, plenty of persuasion, you can just cheat. Alright, it's not cheating, but you get the idea. So effectively, we're stealing a land deed. It's all rather convoluted before we actually get to the end of it. After that, you've got to go across the map to Solitude. I would actually spawn at the Blue Palace as it's a bit closer. Just outside Blue Palace, you should find Erica's house, and you can even see the sign of the Thieves Guild there on the barrel. I kind of always forget that they're meant to show you what kind of loot or things are in the world, with different symbols meaning different things. The more you know. Make your way upstairs, and hopefully doing this at night time. There should be a letter on the desk, and now you get to plant or again purchase the deed from Gisley. These guys are sleeping here. I just went ahead and pickpocketed them. I got the land title and deed, and of course the key as well. I don't think it matters too much what way it happens or what outcome there'll be if you don't do it this way. Now you've got to place the deed on the dresser, and that's it, you're done. Now head into the main part of Solitude, and behind the actual winking skeever you should find a barrel, and that's going to give you the location of the dungeon that you now need to go to. Pay attention to the clue where it says you can find the key on the corpse with the lantern. There's basically a draugr that you'll be able to get a key to a chest, otherwise you may need expert level lockpicking if you don't find that key. Silverdrift lair is just south of the Winterhold College. It's guarded by a few little enemies. You may even find some sort of bandits doing some sort of deal with skooma outside too. So it's worth pointing out at this stage, I'm going to show you how to go and get the shroud. But after that, I'm also going to carry on with a bit more of a detailed guide on how to complete the rest of this dungeon, as it does lead to a dragon priest and a brand new shout. Well, I say new shout, it's still just part of the base game, but you get the idea. 2 in 1 in this place. So you're going to have a few draugr wights and deathlords in this area, and there's a few traps as well, so be on the lookout for some of them. Don't miss out on the two-handed skill point here as well. There will be a large chamber, and pretty much through that way is where eventually you'll end up fighting against the dragon priest. So we'll come to that in a second. For now, instead, drop down to the bottom level, take care of any of the last remaining draugr, and there should be a corridor actually just going back the way that you came, but obviously it's going to go in a new direction. I was being a bit flamboyant with this new spell scroll that I unlocked, but you get the idea, it will blow open this. A simple fireball or flame arrow will do the same trick. Then all you got to do is pull the 2 handles in each one of these stones and the door should open up. You don't have to swivel the stones around or it won't let you anyway, and then yeah, the secret stone door should open. There's a few of these sneaky handles around that you're going to have to use all throughout this dungeon, so just pay attention. A couple more draugr to deal with, wights, and then you should find the ancestral sword that's situated inside the chest. This is the one that you need to be expert level or go and find the key for, so I will show you where the key is in case you're doing this a bit early. But the ice blade doesn't do any damage, it's pretty much useless to you. As you can see, it's only good for basically swapping for the grey cow. So the key to this place is actually through the corridor, and you find a deathlord and might be a couple more draugrs in here as well. If you really are saving on picklocks, then look for this draugr that's laying down with the lamp inside his actual place, and that will open up the chest. So I'm going to skip right now to the conclusion of this quest, and then you can pick up the rest and I'll show you how to proceed through the rest of this dungeon. Otherwise you can head out back the way that you come and simply exit and come back another time if you don't think you're powered enough to take on the priest. Head back to the graveyard in Riften, and there should be a journal laying on top of a grave. Read that and you're surprised by the Grey Cowl himself. The Grey Fox will offer you the chance to swap the blade that is apparently his ancestors for the new Grey Cowl. It's pretty handy, sneaking 25% better, carry increased by 50 points, nearby living creatures but not undead, machines or Daedra can be seen through walls. That really is OP for Thieves builds. Be warned though, if you wear this out in public around guards, particularly basically city centres and stuff, they will all attack you on sight. So that's the grey cowl of Nocturnal. Now let's take a look at the rest of the dungeon that I was in. So where you picked up the key from the Draugr, there'll actually be a doorway, and you see these little plimps. There's actually a little switch on each one of these that opens up a doorway, and you can get some additional loot as well as face off against a few more creatures. I do believe the one on the far left will open up inside this chest, some extra additional loot and some money bags on the floor. And then the third one that you find on the actual handle here, that's actually going to take you to a locked barred door that's in the main chamber where I told you to walk across. Okay, let's head upstairs. Okay, so a couple of things to note. Upstairs where we took on a couple of the Death Lords, and I showed you don't go through this way, you go actually below it. Well, take these guys out and there is a small little reward on the plinth on the right as well as a trap. You'll find an Orcish helmet of major alchemy as well as obviously some hot bound spikes. To open up the spike door itself, there should be a little handle on the plinth just outside of the entrance here. You find some more little ante-rooms with chests and loot potions and stuff on it before you get into the main entrance against the Dragon Priest. Can be a bit challenging getting through here. There's plenty of Scourges and Death Lords. There's a couple of rooms where you find some of these bodies, as well as a whole host of bandits dead on the floor too, so you can take their loot hopefully as well. In a room with a skull on a mound, look out for a pickpocket book to give your skill level up. Then head down the slope, open up the gate, don't need to do anything else with this one, and then walk across, take out another few Draugrs, and then you're in the main room. So as they should be fairly tough to fight, although not impossible, and again it's usually dependent on the level. So take him out and you'll get a brand new word. This shout will help you disarm enemies from their weapons. Now I haven't actually got bothering with the actual dragon stuff in this playthrough. I've been using obviously lots of mods and teleports and stuff to get me across quickly and easily to finish all this content. So yeah, let me know how that shout goes for you, whether or not it's worthwhile. Now there's a bunch of ruined books and all of these plimps, and there's a couple of these plimps up the stairs as well where you'll take on another couple of Draugrs on a slope. I figured they might open up a secret trapdoor or do something, but apparently not. I couldn't find any reason to really go or bother taking or removing them all from their plimps. But with all that done, you can head outside now, and there's another chest waiting for you, as well as a lever which I think helps you escape out of this area. I activated the chain and honestly I couldn't tell 100% what it did. Maybe it did open the door and I just didn't pay attention. But yeah, you should be able to go down that slope and eventually you'll work your way through to one of the doors that was barred as you first entered this dungeon. And that's pretty much it. You'll be out in no time, completed the dungeon, got your brand new cowl. Hope that's helped. If it has, leave a like. Check out the rest of my guides. I've pretty much covered nearly every single follower, new armor set, and the majority of the big quests in the new content as part of the anniversary stuff. And now I'm going through some of the older stuff. Until next time, laters.